Hello everyone, my name is Mary Dutterer and I'm going to be your instructor for this semester. Welcome to the course. What I'm going to be doing today is giving you a little bit of helpful hints for how to be successful in online classes. For some of you this may be your very first online class, in which case welcome. Some of you may have already taken online classes before, which you're a veteran, but some of these things you may want to consider as well. I've been teaching here at PGCC since 2003 and I've been an online instructor since 2002, so I've had a lot of experiences with what works and what doesn't with online courses as well as face-to-face courses. So hopefully you'll find this useful. Tip number one is I encourage you to log in to class early. Each academic week starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday. And while this first week, usually people are really excited, they get into class the very first day that the class is open. After a couple of weeks, then people start to kind of fade off a little bit. And I start getting assignments later and later in the week until by the end of the semester, everybody's turning in their work at like 11 o'clock on Sunday night. While that's obviously your choice, since this is a class that allows you to have freedom of when you do your work, waiting till the last minute or the very last day of the week to check into class isn't really the best tactic. So I would always recommend that even if you don't plan on doing the work on Monday or Tuesday, that you at least come into the class, see what's happening that week so that you can plan your time accordingly. Okay. So tip number two, check your email. Now, for people that are in face-to-face classes, I see them at least once a week, if not more. So if I have something that I need to communicate with them, I can see them before class, after class. If we're working on an assignment, I can kind of pull them aside and talk to them at that point. But with you guys, I don't really have that luxury. So the only way I can really communicate with you is through email, outside of using Blackboard. Okay. So each one of you has a student email account. It's really important that you check it. I would recommend that you check it at least twice a week. Once at the beginning of the week and once before the weekend. Okay. So that you can stay on top of things if I need to contact you, if say I'm missing an assignment from you, or you took an online quiz and your results didn't take and I need you to retake it. That's how I'm going to be communicating with you, through your school's email account. Not your private email account, because I'm not really allowed to converse with you over your private email accounts. So you need to be using your student email accounts. You can either log on to them through the school's main page, or there's a function inside Blackboard. If you click on Quick Links, you'll see the email link. You just click on it, and it'll allow you to select whoever you want to email in the class, whether it's me or another student. And it works with your PGCC email account. So even if you're using your email account in Blackboard, you can make it so that you can get a copy of that message sent to your student email account, and of course it'll go to whoever you're conversing with as far as in the school email account. Okay, like you can't email somebody outside the school with your Blackboard account. But please check your email, I would say at least twice a week. Tip number three, ask questions. This is really, really important, especially for online classes. The problem is that students, even in regular classes, sometimes they'll be, afraid to ask questions or intimidated. Don't be, okay? You're spending time in this class, you're spending money for this class. So if you come across content that you don't know or don't understand, you gotta ask questions. If there's an assignment that you're like, I'm really not sure what she's looking for with this, can you, get clarification? Because once the assignment's graded, you can't go, well, I didn't understand it, that's why I did it wrong. Okay? Because at that point you will be assessed on how well you were able to do the assignment. So always ask questions, it's really important. There's two ways to do that. Inside the discussion board, there's a question thread. I would actually advise you to use the question thread instead of emailing me, because some other student may have the same question, in which case you'll get an answer to that question, and then you'll also help that student. But if If it's of a more private nature or you don't really want to ask it in the question thread, then just send me the question through email. But one thing I would tell you to do is that in the question thread, everybody in the class can see what you post. There's sometimes where I get students that post things to the question thread that are more of a personal nature, like they had a death in the family and they're not going to be able to complete the work for that week. That's something that you should be contacting me through email. Don't post stuff like that to the question thread. Question threads are really just for class content related questions. Okay, so either you can use the question thread or email me questions, but please don't let something go by. Okay. Okay, so that was point 3. Point 4, have a backup. Okay. This is also really important. If you think about like face-to-face classes, let's say you had a car and you got up to go to class that day and your car was broken down. Well, maybe you get somebody else to give you a ride, maybe you take the metro bus or metro train, okay, but you work a way around so that you can get to class. Okay, same thing with online classes. If your internet connection is cut off or your computer's in the shop, okay, you can't just say, well, I couldn't do my work that week because my computer was in the shop or I didn't have any internet. You have to have a backup. So we have one main campus in Largo. We have 2 main extension centers, one at Laurel College Center, one at University Town Center. Libraries have internet access and word processing programs. FedEx places, hotels, most places, there's a lot of places that you can get access to the internet and access to things like Microsoft Word so that you don't fall behind. But, and this is also stated in the syllabus, if your computer's down or if your internet's down, that's not actually an excuse to not get your work done on time. Okay. So tip 5, time management. Okay, this is usually the biggest reason why students don't do well in an online class, and even also in face-to-face classes too, is because they don't plan their time. Okay, most students are very busy. You may have 1, 2, 3 jobs, 1, 2, 3 kids, 1, 2, 3 community commitments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes. Okay, you have to budget your time so that you can get everything done. Okay. So don't think of an online class as being like, oh, I don't have to spend as much time with an online class as a face-to-face class because I don't have to drive in and park and all that stuff. That's true. You don't have to worry about getting to campus and getting back. But online classes need just as much time and just as much attention as a face-to-face class. So you should budget your time accordingly. And if you fall behind, you don't let things go by you, okay? Get back on track as quickly as you can, because the problem becomes that students get behind 1 week and then it becomes a second week, and then after 3 weeks, they really can't get back into what's going on in the class anymore. So budget your time, keep a schedule, keep yourself organized, and if you find yourself starting to slip, don't let yourself slip too far. Get back on track. Okay. So those are my 5 tips for being successful in online classes. I hope we have a really great semester together. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Welcome to the course.